I'm Smith, and today we're looking at a scenario where the Chicxulub Meteor doesn't hit the Earth. Today we're gonna be looking at two pretty interesting events. The first one is the Treaty of France. Now we know that France, they have also been involved in the second, like the millionth war between Greece and Anatolia, and they have been on Anatolia's side, which was the side that lost. So today we're gonna be seeing quite a bit of partitioning. First, we are starting here in the colony of America, or in America. We see that this colony becomes its own independent state. As we can see, the French still do held on to this port, which is pretty strategically placed, like greatly strategically placed. And we also see that this small pink country is also here. And don't forget that we also see that the Red Sicilians, they also take this land right here. This The light blue Italians, they don't take any land because they are very chill. They just want to put democracy back into the power of France. We are now moving here to Russia. Now, this grayish country, they do not really have good relations with their neighbors. And this boils over to a point when we see that on this side, like on this border of Crimea and this great Russian country, a border skirmish happens, and the Ukrainians win it. And we obviously see that the gray country, they declare war on orange Crimea. We see that orange Crimea, they start pushing in as they take this major city and encircle quite a lot of troops right here, and they start pushing a little more. We now also see that this Limish, yeah, I guess Limish, we also see that they also start pushing into this gray Russian country as they take all of this land. And also push a little more. We see that at this point, gray Russia, they're cooked, yeah. And this is even more enforced when this brown Kaliningrad country, they also declare war on Grey Russia. And yeah, they are not surviving this. They are not making a comeback. Although they do put up quite a good defense against the Crimeans as they almost push them out, but the Crimeans they still hold on onto this major city. uh, we don't see that many people from the capital city, they start running away onto the east of the country as the Livonians, I guess. I'm gonna call them the Livonians as the Livon as the Livonians they start put what the hell was that? As the Livonians they start pushing a lot into Russia now, as they take the capital city and they are pushing even more than they ever think they could. And we also see that uh, Lime Russia ra- they are also getting into this, and Crimea, of course, the one who initiated this conflict, also gets into this. And that's when uh, we finally see a peace treaty happening. You see now, we see that right, we see that the Grey Russian country they are reduced by a lot as the Livonians they take like they like at this land and the Ukrainians also take quite a lot of land right here and the Lime Russians they also take quite a lot of land right here. We are now gonna be going here where if I enable the nature map I made here we see that of course you can tell me if there's is a mistake in this map. We see that both of these countries are on these on these steps, and these steps they're always known for uh birthing very big empires, and this applies here too. As we see that the red country they expand by quite a lot of land right here, and also expand on the to the east, right, like this. We no, no, they do not take all of this. We also see that the blue Aral Sea country they also expand by quite a lot as they go all the way from this Azerbaijani, I guess, colony, uh, exclave, whatever you want to call it. They also expand by a massive amount. But these countries, they aren't really strong, They're just showing off that they can be strong. They could be strong. They're just like showing off it, you know. It looks like something on the map, but in reality, like, it's pretty much nothing. We now see that the Persian country, they also expand by quite a bit as they take all of this land. And no, they take, no, no, what the hell? They take this, they take this land. And we also see that this Maroon country, they also take quite a lot of land right here as they take all of this. We then also see that the Cyan Indian country, they also take quite a lot of land as they take all of this. We now see that Japan, they are going to be expanding their colony by quite a bit here in California as they now start getting into the LA areas. I think LA is like somewhere here. So they are already like in LA in the western part. And we are now gonna see a war, and it's gonna be a pretty big one. But this is gonna be more of like a Franco-Prussian war, where it's a war between two superpowers, but really it was not. You know what I mean? And we see that the Franco-Portuguese Commonwealth, they start getting into a beef or a rivalry with Red Sicilians. And the Red Sicilians, they don't like it. So they start invading as they start going in right here. This is completely unexpected by the Spano-Portuguese Commonwealth, as they are now getting to the very close to the Spanish capital. They are practically sieging it. But here in Africa, don't forget that these are both dynasty countries. But here in Africa, we see quite the opposite happening as the Spano-Portuguese they start absolutely storming through into Africa as they take two major cities, and it's really not pretty for Red Sicily as they also take this city right here. We now see that the Spanish-Portuguese Commonwealth, they are almost gonna push out the Red Sicilians, and they are even gonna start again pushing into Red Sicily, this time on the north as they take or like occupy all of this land, and then also start pushing here into, I think this is province, as they take this major city and start and they then also encircle this coastal city and start sieging it. We now see that this very new pink country, they also join in on this war because they want this coastal city. It's quite a successful one. So they just want it, but they're not gonna do anything else in the war, obviously. If I pull up the power rankings, we can see that Spanish Portuguese Commonwealth is well on the top. I'm also gonna be making power ranking this episode. And Red Sicily is all the way in 10th. Yeah, it's not really even a contest if you really think about it, as they start pushing right here. Then they encircle many troops right here in Catalonia, and we finally see uh, the Red Sicilians surrendering. Here's the peace treaty. Anna, which you see right now, is what this has pretty much been negotiated upon. We see that the Spano-Portuguese Commonwealth, they take quite a lot of land right here, as they didn't have any of this, making this. Uh, the the pink province country, they take this land, and we see two new countries actually created. Here is one in Albania, and here's the second one in the Bo- Bordeaux, Bordeaux area. We are now gonna see a war here between Saudi Arabia and this pink Mesopotamian Qatar country, I guess. As we see that the Saudi Arabian forces, they start pushing into this like exclave, and w- w- we see a little bit of fighting here in the sea, but eventually they both agree on a peace deal, where the Saudi Arabians, they take the entire exclave. Now I'm going to do the power rankings. Where are they? Here. Yeah. I'm gonna delete all of this because it is very, very much not true. Bye bye. And we are now gonna make them, or like, make new power rankings. Where is the tool? The text? Yeah, here. No, not that big, but still quite big. So you can read it. No, that's too big. There we go. The first one is still, uh, I'm gonna make it black. The first one is still Spano-Portuguese Commonwealth, because they're obviously just like very good with their colonies and just are overall strong. Then it's gonna be, who it could go, who it could be. I guess Japan, or I think it's gonna be Japan. They have made a very good progress because, well, they have won the Great Asian War, which was very crucial. Third is gonna be Britain. S- Uh, I forgot to put in the three. So third is Britain. Fourth, I'm between Saint Petersburg and Ukraine. I'm gonna give it to Saint Petersburg. And fifth is Ukraine or Crimea. Sixth is Italy. Seven, I forgot Russia. So fourth is Russia. Fifth is Saint Petersburg, and sixth is Ukraine. Or I'm gonna put in Crimea because there are more Crimean. Seventh is Light Blue Italy, or just Italy, and eighth. I don't know. I don't know. Genuinely don't know. I guess Brown China. I like Philippines, Brown China. I'll give it to Brown China. Then I'm gonna give it to Blue China. Yeah, Blue China. And we are, and on 10th place is, who could be, uh, Korea? Maybe Korea. I'm gonna give it to the Philippines. Uh, Philippines. And obviously, honorable mentions is gonna be like Cyan India, India, and Iran, and probably Anatolia. You know, Anatolia has very much fallen off, obviously because they are paying absolutely massive war reparations, and they have like a very limited army. So they are now like 13th, like yeah, 13th. And this is where I'm gonna be ending the video now. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Bye.